As winter approaches, Ukraine and Russia are increasingly carrying out attacks on each other's energy infrastructure. Russian officials said Ukrainian strikes on the city of Belgorod and the village of Koronevo have left some 20,000 people without power. Meanwhile, on Saturday, Russian attacks on Ukrainian energy infrastructure have left this country scrambling to turn the lights and the heating back on. Let's speak to our correspondent now, Emmanuelle Chaze. Hello to you, Emmanuelle. Massive overnight Russian attacks, as we've seen many days and weeks recently. How is the process of restoring the power in Ukraine going?
Well, it was very complicated. It still is a challenge for all services involved. To give you an idea, I'm here in Kharkiv. This is the second biggest city of Ukraine, 1.3 million inhabitants. And following the strikes yesterday, there was a day without electricity, more than 24 hours without running water. You can forget about the heat as well. In fact, Ukrenergo, the first public provider of energy, said that all of its thermal plants had been hit, had been either damaged or destroyed, and of course it will take months to restore all that can be repaired. The Foreign Affairs Minister, Andrei Sybiha, also said that Russia in those strikes hit substations, power substations in the western part of the country that were providing enough power for nuclear power plants here in Ukraine to work. To give you an idea of just how difficult those strikes have rendered life here, the subway, you can see one of the subways of Kharkiv just behind me, is no longer running. Metros are no longer running. It still serves as a shelter because, of course, there's the at all times we can have air raid alerts, and we have to then shelter from the possibility, the threat of missiles or drones. There's also some of the public transport in the capital in Kyiv, which is no longer running as of today as repairs continue. There's power outages scheduled depending on each district in order to facilitate the work of people repairing those infrastructure. Yesterday, for a few hours, people couldn't even get in and out of the border checkpoints because there was also a technical failure due to a lack of electricity. And also railway infrastructure was impacted with huge delays in trains. So it affects millions of people. Millions of Ukrainians have to make do with either no to very little electricity, no heating, no water, as temperatures are dropping here.
And Emmanuelle, Moscow is saying that it's repelled Ukrainian attacks to break the encirclement of Pokrovsk. What more can you tell us about the battle going on in that strategic Ukrainian city?
Well, according to Moscow, indeed, they have broken those attempts, but there's a different sound when you take your information from Ukraine. It's very much a war of information, and also it is a very moving situation. There is intense fighting within Pokrovsk with hundreds of Russian soldiers infiltrated within the city, and this is why it is critical for the Ukrainian troops to maintain their lines of supplies open to the north of the city. So far, Kyiv denies all encirclements. Operations are ongoing, and if we want to understand why Ukrainians are fighting so hard to defend their city of Pokrovsk, we've seen in Bakhmut, in Avdiivka, quite the same scenario being played in India, and Russia manages to capture the city and to illegally occupy it. Well, if Russians manage to get a hold of Pokrovsk, they will be able to, to gather a huge amount of troops within an urban environment, and that would facilitate their attacks toward the neighboring region of Dnipropetrovsk, and that is why Ukrainians are intent on defending Pokrovsk at the moment, because that would give an advantage for Russia to launch further attacks later on.
All right, Emmanuelle, thank you very much. Emmanuelle Chaze reporting from Kharkiv.